today's going to be kind of an interesting video. I would say probably about 3 weeks ago, I saw a post on Facebook where it was my cousin kind of stating all the trouble that he's had with his kidneys lately and that he is in desperate need of a kidney transplant. And I really just kind of felt like the Lord was leading me to go ahead and to try to do this. And so I thought that I would walk you guys through the journey. Now, I am a little bit into it. I've already made the call to the hospital and told them that I'm interested in considering. They sent me a packet, just of paperwork to fill out, basic generic medical information. I mean, nothing crazy. And then I had to do an over-the-phone interview where they just asked basically the same questions that I went through with the questionnaire, and then just kind of made sure that they heard from me that I was willing to do it and kind of walked me through the process or whatever. And then based on my answers to the medical questions, they said, okay, well, it's safe for you to try to donate, so we're going to go ahead and send you out a kit. And so in this kit, this is my compatibility test kit. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to take this to a local Quest Diagnostic, and they're going to draw a bunch of blood and all that other stuff. And then they're going to return this to the hospital. And then this was the fun one. I know you're thinking, what in the world does she need with a gas can or a gas can looking thing? This is my 24-hour urine collection. Oh boy. So I started this morning, and it's interesting. It's kind of gross, yes, but honestly, it's not so bad. They give you a thing to put on the toilet where it kind of just collects everything. Easy pour spout, pour it into there. The worst part is that you have to keep it in the refrigerator, so that's kind of gross. But this has not been so bad. So when I go to Quest, they're gonna take my compatibility test kit, they're gonna take the urine, and they're gonna send all of it to Connecticut and see if I'm compatible. Well, while we're doing all this, and while this takes time and stuff like that, she did tell me that I have to have an up-to-date physical, an up-to-date gynecological visit, and possibly a mammogram. So you'll probably see the mammogram video before you actually see this one. That's part of the reason why I went and did the mammogram. Well, it was the reason I went and did the mammogram. You should do them, but it was kind of like the catalyst to get me to go and do it. And all of this stuff has just been actually very easy. There's not been any pressure on me as far as, you know, wanting me to donate or donating to other people if I'm not a match to him, which, I mean, I guess technically we're not that far into the journey, but so far everybody's been super nice and very concerned about my well-being as well as my cousin's well-being. So anyway, this is just the very beginning of this journey, so I thought that I would kind of diary the journey as we go along, and I'll let you know as things progress. So anyway, look forward to seeing how this is going to turn out. Okay, so it is Monday, and I have finished my 24 hours of peeing that I was supposed to do over Sunday. And, well, I'm a little shocked at how much I go to the bathroom. I know that this is totally gross, and you guys probably don't want to see this, but I'm going to show you anyway. This right here, this little bag here, is stuffed with 2 jugs. The jugs that I showed you earlier, they're full. Those 2 jugs are filled to the rim with urine. I had no idea I peed so much in 24 hours. Anyway, so now I am on my way to the Quest Diagnostic to get my blood drawn and all that other stuff, and we'll see from there. I imagine it's probably going to take a week or 2 before I find out whether I'm actually a good match or not. So let's go get my blood drawn. Hey everybody, so time to do an update. During this live kidney donation, let's see, a month and a half ago, I donated my blood, did the urine, you remember all that, right? So I'm kind of getting a little annoyed. It's been like a month and a half. I did my blood sample the week before Memorial Day, and it is the end of June, so June 22nd or something like that. So it has been a really long time. So while we were in DC, I guess it had kind of reached ahead where I was like, look, I just need to know. just tell me. If I'm a match, great. If I'm not, fine. Just, I want to know. So that way either I can put it behind me and say, okay, I did my best, I tried, whatever. Or I can say, you know, it's moving forward. So I called, and I think this Thursday they called me back and said, I'm a match, but it was like a soup sandwich. I mean, they lost my urine sample. They didn't know, you know, he knew nothing about our file. So I contacted my aunt and I said, look, it's a match, but they're kind of a soup sandwich right now. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to work with them or whatever. And she let me know that I don't really know who I'm donating it to. I know that we're somehow related, but I don't really know who it is. So she said that the person I'm trying to give the kidney to took like a turn for the worst and had like lost 50 pounds and stuff like that. So I said, okay, we really need to go ahead and get on the transplant people and make them get together and make them look at the file better. So I called them back on Friday and I told them that, you know, he had taken a turn for the worst. What can I do to expedite this process? I can redo the urine sample. I can do whatever you need to do. Just tell me what I need to do. And they told me that they found my urine sample, but that my urine sample and the protein was really high. So what they neglected to tell me was, well, they did tell me that you should take a day off from exercising before you do your urine sample. But what they didn't understand is I think that they thought that I was just a willy-nilly exerciser, you know, 2, maybe 3 times a week, you know, just maybe some cardio or whatever. I don't think they realized that, I mean, I was actually working out pretty intensely. You know, at that point, I was doing my workouts. I was working out with my son. So, I mean, I was working out twice a day, 5 days a week. And then I took Saturday off. And then I drank a bunch of water between Saturday and Sunday. So what I did was I let the protein build up in my body Monday through Friday, took Saturday off. My kidneys are going, oh, we gotta play catch up. I drank a ton of water and I flushed it all out into my urine sample. So what I have been thinking is that I've never had high protein in my urine. Never through a doctor's visit, never through anything. So what I'm thinking is that I just didn't give my body enough time to relax from working out and to flush all that out for them to get an accurate reading of what my kidneys can actually do. So by the grace of God, I mean, all of this has just kind of really been worked out. So we were in DC, right? So I hadn't worked out. Well, DC was a workout. So I'm counting DC as a workout because I had a baby strapped to my back. We were walking miles and miles and miles. But Tuesday, we drove home. So Tuesday, we were in the car all day. Wednesday and Thursday, I sat here from like 7 o'clock in the morning until way late at night doing schoolwork. And then Thursday, I talked to them and found out there was a match, but the urine was gone. And then Friday morning-ish, I found out that I need to redo the urine sample. So I said, y'all need to get it together. Call Quest Diagnostic, send something there. I will go pick it up right now. So as soon as I called him and he said I need to redo the urine sample, I ran down to Quest Diagnostic. When I got there, he still hadn't faxed the stuff to him. So I had to make him fax the stuff to him. I got my jugs, and then you're gonna love this. So when I did it the first time, they gave me a thing that you put in the toilet, you urinate into it. You don't have to touch anything, you pour it right into there. It was very easy. For something that was really gross, it was a very clean way to do something very gross. So this time I said, oh, don't you have one of those things you put in the toilet so, you know, I can collect or whatever? And she's like, no, you just use this styrofoam cup. I was like, oh, that is so gross. So yay, I get to pee into a cup for the next 24 hours. But I have done everything that I can. Anybody who knows me knows that I drink a lot of Diet Coke, and I have had like 1 Diet Coke in the past 3 days, and I didn't even finish that one. The only thing that I have had was my coffee, but I have drank tons and tons and tons of water. I feel like I really, if I don't pass it this time, there really is a problem with my kidneys, and you really shouldn't have one. So anyway, that long thing was to tell you I have to redo my urine, and now we will know probably for sure Monday or Tuesday whether we're going forward or whether this was just the end of the road for the possibility of me being a kidney donor. Anyway, I will let you know probably next week how the rest of this goes. Anyway, Bye. So today I'm having a GFR test here at Wake Forest Baptist Hospital. Now I had no clue when I came here what a GFR test was, but it's basically where they inject you with radioactive material. I got the injection in that arm, and then for the next 3 hours they draw blood every hour. So it wasn't bad. I started off with a PET scan where they injected the radioactive material into me, and for the next 8 minutes I laid there and I got to watch as the radioactive material went into my heart, through my lungs, down my aorta, into my kidneys, and then I watched it filter through and go into my bladder and stuff like that. Anyway, it was really cool. So now for the next 3 hours I am getting my blood drawn and all that fun stuff. So hopefully after this GFR I'll know for sure whether I'm able to donate to him or not. But anyway, this has been interesting. It was interesting seeing my kidneys and heart and lungs and all that other stuff. So anyway, I just wanted to keep you guys updated. Okay, so my GFR is done. And like I said earlier, it was an IV. They injected me with some radioactive material. And then every hour on the hour, they drew 2 vials of blood through my IV. Now, that sounds like an awful test, but really it wasn't. You have an IV in. The most, the worst part about it was that it was 3 hours. But honestly, they don't make you stay in their waiting room. You don't have any restrictions. You can eat before, you can eat after, you can eat during. You don't have to drink anything crazy. I mean, honestly, it was easy. So I went in there and I did it. The first hour, I just kind of stuck around, did a little bit of reading for schoolwork and stuff like that. And then the second hour, I went and got lunch. The third hour, I put on a movie, and bam, it was over just like that. It was no fuss. The people there were nice. It was an easy test. It was really cool, actually, the first part. The PET scan, where you actually get to see the radioactive material entering your body and stuff, that was actually really cool. So even though it sounds terrible, like 3-hour test, it wasn't bad. In fact, it went smoothly. It was low stress. There's, like I said, most of those kind of tests you dread. Oh, I can't eat for 24 hours, or I'm on restricted this, that, and the other thing, or I'm going to sit in there starving for hours. I could do whatever I wanted, eat whatever I wanted, and go wherever I wanted, but I had to be back exactly at 20 after. They started it at 11:20, and at 12:20 they took my blood, at 1:20 they took my blood, and then at 2:20 they took my blood. And it really has to be right on the hour. So you can go and do as you please, but you really have to be back on the hour for them to draw your blood, or the whole test is like void, because they need to see how well your body filters that radioactive material out. So having said all that, easy test, not a big deal. Quiet afternoon by myself, quiet lunch by myself, reading done, wonderful afternoon. Anyway, so I don't know what's next. I think it's a CAT scan once they see how this procedure has gone. So CAT scan's up next, I think. So anyway, we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Okay, so I've done my pulmonary test, which was the first breathing treatment thing. And now I'm in here. I have a physical just a minute ago. And then I'm going to talk to Carrie, my coordinator, and we'll see where we go from there. I think I've got a bunch of interviews with doctors and nephrologists and things like that. And then this afternoon I end with a CT scan. So very exciting. Feel like we're finally getting somewhere. Okay, hey everybody. So I flew out to Connecticut yesterday to finish the last round of my tests. Had a great time at the hospital. You'll see some video from in the hospital of the things I did and stuff like that. So I go to fly back home, and wouldn't you know, my flight is canceled. So I've never actually had that happen to me before. So they booked me on a flight tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they gave me what looked like another airline ticket for a voucher to come here to the Fairfield Inn and get a room. And it's actually a really nice room. I was a little impressed. It's got a nice big bed, a couch, TV, all that. So, I mean, it stinks that I'm stuck here another day and not home with my family, but at least I got a nice room and they covered everything. They shuttled me back and they're shuttled me back to the airport again. And so make the most of tonight and just kind of relax and hang out, and that's it.